Hello everybody, Dan Babis here. Welcome back to Daily Soap Dish. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button down below because we cover a ton of 90 Day Fiancé right here on the channel. Alright guys, so let's get into it. Today we have a story for you about Ben Rathbun and Mahogany Rocca. There's an update in the life of this couple as they are on a trip in Peru together, and it comes in the form of another catfish accusation. So I think this is a clip from this week's episode. We're going to see Mahogany Rocca just lay it to Ben. She's just going to lay it out there. She's going to tell him that, Ben, you are just not the same person that I was speaking to in the chats. It's pretty hilarious how she's turned this on Ben when she was the one that didn't want to show up. She was the one that looked completely different than in her pictures. But she's completely turning this on Ben. I wonder if this is a form of gaslighting that Mahogany is doing here, because it's very bizarre. I mean, to me, look, we all know Ben and Mahogany is the weirdest angle we've had on this season, perhaps all time on 90 Day Fiancé. It's obviously rehearsed. It's obviously just phony and fake. It's just not very authentic. I think we can all see that. But you know, Ben actually in the last few episodes, he has been saying some of the same things that we've been saying as viewers of the show. And that's been kind of interesting because he's saying the same truth that we are. So it's kind of made me, perhaps rethink a little bit. Not that much, but a little bit. It's made me rethink Ben a little bit. Of course, we know that Ben got arrested earlier this week for, a drunk driving violation probation, which originally stand for a driving with drugs or driving under the influence of drugs violation, which was reduced. So obviously Ben, is definitely not a saint. And for someone that is as religious as he is, he definitely commits a decent amount of sin. Also, he is attracted to a woman that is 30 years his younger than he is, and that looked even younger than the 22 in the photos that she shared with him. But nonetheless, on the last few episodes, Ben has been speaking truths. He also pointed out how, that apartment that Mahogany brought him to was basically, obviously, an Airbnb, which we all said as well. So pretty interesting there that at least Ben is willing to kind of say what's on his mind, to say the truth, even though this whole angle obviously is kind of weird overall. So let's take a look at this piece here. This comes to us from ET Entertainment Tonight. The title is 90 Day Fiancé. Mahogany tells Ben he's not the same person that she met online. Like I said, I wonder if this is a form of gaslighting. She is trying to cling to any little piece possible that she can use to kind of use against Ben. Really, that's what she wants to do. She wants to use anything against Ben because she just doesn't look like she's interested in him, right? So she wants to make it seem like he's completely different than he was online. I'm not sure, but okay. So let's take a look and read right here. Things are looking good for Ben and Mahogany's shaky relationship. In this exclusive clip from Sunday's episode, so the episode that's going to air tomorrow, Ben asks Mahogany if their relationship stands a chance, and she ends up walking out on him. Ben and Mahogany's relationship has been awkward since he traveled to Peru to meet her in person. Aside from Mahogany not looking like her heavily filtered photos and him suspecting her of multiple lies, Mahogany is also much less affectionate in person than she was in their chats. That's quite true. I have to say that she is much, much less affectionate to him than she was in chat. However, it could be due to, it can be due to numerous things. Don't forget, she's a 22-year-old girl, and she's meeting this guy that is old enough to be her dad. That has to be weird. That has to be off-putting for her. She must not really know how to approach that situation. And on top of that, she's being filmed. So there's a lot of pressure on young Mahogany, even with all her faults and everything. There's a lot of pressure on her. And I don't know that she's ever been in this kind of situation before. So it's a little daunting. I guess we can give her at least that. All right. So during a previous episode, she told him she didn't even consider him her boyfriend. Yeah, that was also very interesting as well. Though they had talked about getting married and having kids together, and Ben showed the text, he showed the receipts, but Mahogany said, no, 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 that's not enough for us to be a couple, basically, for us to be boyfriend and girlfriend. You know, us saying that, I can't wait to get married, and when we do, we're going to have kids. That's not what being a couple is. And I was kind of flabbergasted by that. And I didn't buy Mahogany's excuse. So on last week's episode, Ben decided to not show up at a breakfast meeting during what was supposed to be a romantic getaway between the two, after she did not respond to his basically 20,000 page essay that he wrote to her the night before. And that made the situation even more awkward because Mahogany's parents unexpectedly showed up, which was another very odd and bizarre situation for these two. So they showed up at breakfast, and Ben asked Mahogany if he could speak to them in private without her being there. In the clip, Ben asked Mahogany if their relationship still stands a chance, and she isn't hopeful. I don't know, I'm really confused. She tells him, shaking her head, I think you're not the Benjamin in the chat. You're different. You didn't tell me that you didn't get along with your ex-wife. I mean, we can say Mahogany is young. She's 22. But if she's his ex-wife, chances are he didn't get along that well with her, right? I mean, she is his ex-wife. So things obviously had to happen. You didn't tell me many things, and now I know them, so I think that's different. When Ben just replies, okay, Mahogany tells him she came to drop off a letter to him from her father. I really didn't want to come, she bluntly says. I don't want to stay here. Ben tells her that if she doesn't want to talk to him, she could go ahead and go. At this point, Mahogany just walks out with Ben still sitting at the table. So basically that's it. Just walks out. And yeah, E.T. spoke to Ben, and, Ben explained to them that Mahogany's multiple lies weren't red flags to him. We kind of touched on that in a previous video that we did about when Ben got arrested for his drunk driving probation violation. We touched a little bit on, Ben did an interview maybe about a week or so ago where he basically, really the most important part of that interview was the fact that Ben doesn't consider himself a predator. He kind of touched on, the comments that are out there about him being a predator because he is soliciting this woman that is 30 years younger than he is. And, she looks even younger, or in the pictures that she sent to him at the time, she looked even younger than her real age. And so a lot of people have been saying that Ben is basically a predator. His excuse was that, no, I'm not a predator because I take care of myself. Basically, I'm not like other 52-year-olds. I work out, really, is what he's saying. I work out, so I'm not a predator. It was a really bizarre explanation and excuse, or whatever you want to call it. It just didn't really fly. Look, I'm not saying that he is or isn't a predator, but that excuse was just very bad. It was just a really bad explanation. It made me have more questions than answers. I think Ben should have just not given that interview, or just not said anything about whether or not he was a predator, or address those, those questions that are out there by some people, because it was truly a bizarre explanation for that. So there you have it. Mahogany walks out on Ben. Now, this isn't the whole clip, so we know that Ben and Mahogany were spotted in Peru in a mall recently, so she probably comes back at some other point. This is just, probably a temporary hiccup in the life of these two. And like I speculated, or like I said before, it's possible that these two kind of started off as a weird catfish turned real life angle on 90 Day Fiancé, and perhaps eventually got to know each other a little better and perhaps became a couple, because we saw that picture in Lima, Peru. Now, of course, many people are not very, they don't really believe that it was necessarily a real picture. They think that it might have been planted, that they think that it might have been taken on purpose to show that they are a couple, even though they might not be. And so in a way to mislead us, that's possible as well, because as we all know, I don't think there is one person that has watched the show or that is watching the channel that feels like this is a real, authentic couple. You guys let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen one comment that said, you're wrong when you're saying that Ben and Mahogany are a phony couple. You're wrong about that. I know that they're real. I can just tell. I don't think I've ever seen one such comment. So I just wanted to bring you guys this news about what is going on this week. Like I said in other videos, what is going on this week on 90 Day Fiancé is from the past, guys. So they're on this week's episode, Mahogany's going to walk out. She might come back. We don't know. But this is in the past, right? So the most recent information we have from these two, well, actually, it's that Ben got arrested earlier this week. That actually happened in real life earlier this week, and just maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, Mahogany and Ben were spotted holding hands in Lima, Peru. So that is the most recent real life information that we have about these two. So that's going to do for this video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Please hit that subscribe button down below for more content right here on Daily Soap Dish, guys. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.